Hey guys, this is the Revolutionary Male. My name is Alex. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to go ahead and cover an article. It's several years old. It's from 2014 on the website of Voice for Men, Men's Health, No Apologies, entitled, "Did the Family Courts Kill Robin Williams, or Was It Just Us?" So let's get into this. I used to think, this is a quote at the beginning of the article, I used to think the worst thing in life was to end up all alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is ending up with people who make you feel all alone. Robin Williams as Lance Clayton, World's Greatest Dad, a 2009 movie. Actor and comedian Robin Williams took his own life Sunday. According to some close to him, he had been struggling with depression since 2 divorces left him in difficult financial shape. He was 63 years old. The reaction to the bad news has been varied. The typical platitudes are making the rounds on social media platforms. ABC News printed the express wishes of the family to be left alone while they were reeling from the shock. On the same page, ABC offered readers a live cam aerial view of Williams' home. Fox News' Shepard Smith referred to Williams with the words, quote, "such a coward," then offered a quick retraction and apology as he realized public grief turned to outrage would be aimed directly between his mascara-caked eyes. Different Strokes actor Todd Bridges tweeted how selfish Williams was, then later issued the same CYA apologies. This is what a lot of men have to deal with on a daily basis. You are not a human being unless you put other people's needs before yours. That's the fundamental reality of what it's like to be a man in modern American culture. I can't speak necessarily for a lot of other cultures, but that's what it's like to live here. If you don't fulfill a function or a role that benefits somebody else, particularly women and children, then you're not a man, and you're selfish. You're a loser. You're worthless. You're a punk, a bum, broke, whatever. This is the reality now. Other coverage of this tragedy has been somewhat more thoughtful, but most are comprised of homages to his brilliant work as a comic and an actor. The circumstances that appear to have actually led to his suicide have been referenced in some places, but have otherwise been left unexamined. So far, no one in the mainstream media is looking at the life of Robin Williams and even trying to connect the dots on what led to the contemporary genius hanging dead at the end of a belt noose. In touching on the bare surface of the story, the media has managed in places to utter the words divorce and financial problems. Indeed, 2 terms that seem inextricably locked together for men. Getting any deeper, however, remains typically out of the question for mainstream coverage. Journalists are noting that his relapse back into drinking helped lead to his second divorce, and no one is questioning whether his second marriage helped lead to his relapse. I won't speculate that this is the case, though I think it is fair to wonder. I think a lot of questions could and should be asked about how we lost Robin Williams. Most of them won't be asked, and that is always the case. Especially for men of a certain age and a certain demographic. As men get older, and their ability to actually fulfill a role or a function to other people diminishes, they lose a significant sense of purpose and meaning in their life. And if that kind of also coincides with a divorce and the loss of children, it can be completely catastrophic. What we do know is on the public record, he continues. Robin Williams was a talented and wildly successful artist who accumulated a fortune over the span of his career. After being drained of tens of millions of dollars in 2 divorces and getting married a 3rd time, he was faced with selling off his most valuable property and the prospect at 63 of trying to make a comeback in stand-up just to make ends meet. All this so his children and ex-wives could live on the high end, as Williams himself put it. I have 2 other choices. Go on the road doing stand-up or do small independent movies working almost for scale, minimum union pay. The movies are good, but a lot of times they don't even have distribution. There are bills to pay. My life is downsized, in a good way. I'm selling the ranch up in Napa, California. I just can't afford it anymore. When asked whether his 2 divorces took all of his money, he answered with blunt comedy. Well, not all. Lost enough. Divorce is expensive. I used to joke that they were going to call it all the money, but they changed it to alimony. It's ripping your heart out through your wallet. Are things good with my exes? Yes. But do I need that lifestyle? No. Look at the coping here. Trying to cope with the reality that he's being robbed. He's had a gun pointed to his head by the divorce court system and he's being robbed of everything in his life that gives him a sense of purpose and meaning and value. His wife, his kids, so his entire family, as well as the ability to live a life where he can handle his mental health issues. It's going to be very difficult to handle your mental health issues if it's 63 years old. You have to go back out onto the road as a stand-up comic just to financially survive, to feed yourself. And what is amazing to me, too, is that for the people who ostensibly cared about him at some point in his life, his wives, the fact that they would allow him to end up in that situation just goes to show you how they are and how a lot of women are. That's why the three primary reasons that a wife divorces her husband are he loses his job, he loses his business, or he has a major mental health crisis. And usually those things are interconnected. Because once they've lost respect for you, once a woman has lost respect for you, they could be vicious. Absolutely vicious. Because women don't love men the way men love women. Men love women for who they are, and women love men for what men can do for women. Whatever Williams needed, apparently he was not getting it. More recent information released by the Marin County Sheriff might shed some light on that. In a press conference, Lieutenant Keith Boyd said that Williams' wife, Susan Schneider, went to bed at 10:30 p.m. on Sunday. According to Boyd, Williams retired to another room in the house. In the morning, Schneider left, reportedly thinking Williams was still asleep. Later, his assistant, worried about him, came to the house and found his body. That was at 11:45 a.m. Think about that. The wife got up and left the house, didn't check on him, make sure he was okay. There was no care or concern whatsoever. His assistant was worried about him and came looking. His wife didn't give a damn. It is certainly plausible that separate bedrooms were the routine in Williams' home. It would not be the first time married couples, even happy ones, enjoyed the space and comfort of their own bedrooms. It is not, however, outside the realm of reason to wonder why an assistant would be concerned enough about Robin Williams' well-being to enter his home searching for him 75 minutes after his wife left the same house without any concern. It is not to implicate any wrongdoing on the part of Williams' wife, but it seems likely there could have been a high degree of separation between the two at the time of his suicide. Exactly, that's what I'm speaking to here. She didn't bother to check on him. She didn't go and say good morning. It's awful. I have to wonder how Williams might have felt, already panicked after 2 financially devastating divorces, if there was a chance he was looking at a third. And I have to wonder why a man, known by everyone close to him to be in very rough emotional shape, might still be hanging there were it not for the concern of an employee. I'd like to know if Williams had the level of support available at home that could have prevented this. Clearly he did not. Because clearly his wife did not have one damn concern about his emotional state. Because this is a man who was well known in the public sphere to have had emotional problems. The history of them, a history of emotional problems and drug abuse. It's just incredibly sad. All this is just wondering aloud, of course. It is not even speculation in the truest sense. Still, what I see as I read in between as many lines as possible in this tragic story is a man crushed beneath the weight of keeping others in luxury. A man who faced spending his final days scraping and bowing and begging, doing anything and everything so that those who once found him useful would allow him another day of tending to their needs. Robin Williams was telling us this in his own words. It's a pity that no one was listening. The media coverage of this, both what has already happened and that which will surely come to pass, paints a clear and conclusive picture of the problem behind the problem. Not even being rich and famous and loved by millions will make anyone take an honest look at why you killed yourself when it makes them uncomfortable to do so, if you're a man. Helicopters will circle like vultures over your carcass, looking for a shot of the aggrieved, fodder to pull at heartstrings and sell commercials. Talking heads will measure up your manhood before your body is even in the ground, likely as not to find you lacking. The last thing they will ever take an interest in is what really killed you, and very few will care enough to notice. Rest in peace, Mr. Williams. It's a sad state of affairs in this country now for men, where there's just no care or concern whatsoever about the problems they face, their mental health issues, their interpersonal crises. There's just no one who gives a damn. which is why this channel exists and why so many other channels exist, because we have to take care of each other. It's our job now. We can't expect anyone else to do this for us. If you're ever having any concerns or mental health issues, make sure you reach out to the suicide hotline to get help. Contact anybody to get help. Your family, your friends, but more importantly, a qualified professional. There's nothing wrong with it. We want you to be here tomorrow. That's the end of the article, guys. I hope you appreciated the video. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and put them in the comment section below, or you can email me directly at revolutionarymail@gmail.com. My name is Alex. I'll see you in the next one.